5 years ago, I started working for an environmental company um, as a inspector for bed bugs, and she's certified to sniff for bed bugs. Roxy and I both lived and worked together for almost 5 years. Most people that have dogs after their long day at work come home to their pets. That's kind of like a relief. I had the opportunity to not just come home to my pet, but also go to work, spend all day running through New York City with her, then come back home and get to enjoy a different side of her. So not only will I get to see her work ethic and that side of her, then also the sweet side of her. People consider dogs to be property, but not to me. Roxy's a member of my family. To take her away from me would be to take away a family member, and that's the level of bond I feel that we have. It's beyond just a pet. She's very protective. She's a guardian, so that little bit of reassurance, just the extra set of ears and eyes when you're sleeping or when you want to relax, is reassuring to know that someone's always there and has your back. My favorite thing about Roxy is how sweet she is, but also how strong and fiery she is. That she's both yin and yang. They love each other, and I think it's the first dog that Roxy has loved. She's kind of motherly, but also kind of big sister. Definitely a little sibling rivalry going on as well. I feel that if somebody took Roxy away from me, it would be very emotionally damaging to her. She has feelings and emotions, and the connection between us is deep. There would be a real hurt on both ends.
The man who used to work for a pest control company is now fighting his former employer for custody of the bug-sniffing dog who was his companion at work and at home. The judge in the case says he might consider rulings in divorce cases to decide who should get the dog. New York One's Stephanie Simon has that story.
Barry Myrick loves Roxy, the pit bull terrier he's lived with for 5 years and cared for. Roxy is trained to sniff for bed bugs. Myrick began taking care of her when both worked for a Queens pest control company, M&M Environmental.
People understand, I'm sorry, how much you can really love the dog, and how much they can love you too.
After the pandemic hit in March, Myrick was laid off. He returned his company uniform, car, and credit cards, but he was not asked to return Roxy. In May, Myrick, his wife, their dog Robbie, and Roxy moved from Brooklyn to Philadelphia. The company demanded Roxy's return, setting off a legal battle.
And we asked for what was called a temporary restraining order to return the dog to us while the matter is pending, because we can actually prove, and it's undisputed, that my clients own the dog.
M&M says the company did not initially ask for the dog back because Myrick led them to believe he would eventually return to work with Roxy. Myrick signed an agreement years ago stipulating M&M owned the dog, but his lawyer says the company lost its right to Roxy by not immediately asking for the dog back and not compensating Myrick to care for the animal.
She has feelings.
Friends have organized social media and GoFundMe campaigns to assist Myrick. He could use the help. When Myrick refused M&M's demand for Roxy, the company reported Roxy stolen. The Queens District Attorney's Office brought grand larceny charges against him. Last month, the Queens judge rejected M&M's demand for the dog's return while the case plays out. The judge ruled in part that it was in Roxy's best interest to live with Myrick for now, the same standard used in custody fights over pets in divorce cases. M&M's lawyer says the ruling could lead to similar battles over guide dogs and police dogs.
I don't think the judge really thought through the ramifications when he decided that he was going to look at divorce law as opposed to ownership of animals. Working dogs are used all over the place.
For Myrick, it's a relief.
Maybe other things will happen that aren't in my favor or whatever, but I don't care about those things. As long as I know she's not going anywhere, I'm going to feel like we won.
The ruling is being appealed. As for the criminal charge, the Queens DA did not respond to a request for comment. Stephanie Simon, New York One.